The Crows and the Snake, a Panchatantra tale. Once upon a time, in a small kingdom somewhere in India, there was a beautiful golden palace with a serene pond in front of it and a grand banyan tree next to it. A mighty king and his wise and kind queen lived in this splendid palace and ruled their subjects from it. And the magnificence of the scenery was not only appreciated by all the people of the kingdom, but also by two crows who were in awe with the beauty of the place and decided to build their nest on the banyan tree next to the palace. Every morning, the queen, along with her handmaids, would go to the pond in front of her palace to take her bath. The ladies would chat, laugh, and splash water on each other. This made for happy days, and the two crows would always look forward to the queen's visits. As time went on, the crows decided that there was no better or happier place for them to raise a family of their own. And soon enough, eggs were laid, with both the father and mother crows waiting in anticipation to meet their babies once the eggs hatched. But little did they know that their joy at becoming parents was about to be ruined, for the same banyan tree was home to a creature who was a danger to the crows and their unhatched babies. In a hole at the bottom of the banyan tree lived a large blue snake with vicious red eyes and sharp fangs, fangs that were used to devour his prey. A few days after the crow's eggs were laid, the snake slithered his way up the tree and made his way to the nest. Once there, he made a quick and surprise attack, making the father crow and mother crow fly away from the nest out of sheer fright and clearing the way for the snake to then pounce on the eggs and swallow them all. Satisfied with a full stomach, the evil blue snake slithered back down the tree and into his dark hole again, leaving the two crows to stare after the massacre, helpless to do anything to save their eggs. The two crows were heartbroken. They cried all day, mourning their babies. "What are we to do, dear husband?" sobbed the mother crow in despair. "With the wicked snake living in the same tree as us, he will eat our babies every time we lay eggs, and we will never be able to have a family." The father crow thought for a little while, determined to stop the snake's cruelty. "Do not worry, sweet wife," he finally replied. "I have a plan that will put an end to the snake's evil ways." The next morning, the queen and her handmaids visited the pond for the queen's bath, as usual. The queen took off her jewelry, and all the ladies changed out of their saris into their bathing attires to step into the pond. Once inside the pond and relaxed in the cool water, the queen suddenly noticed a black crow fly out of the banyan tree next to her palace, making its way to where she left her jewelry. The father crow's plan was in action. Before taking flight, the father crow explained his plan to the mother crow. "That sounds like a good plan," said the mother crow. "Best of luck, dear husband." And with his wife's wishes and support, the father crow flew out of their tree and landed on the grass next to where the queen had left her jewelry. Before the humans had a chance to stop him, he acted quickly and picked up the queen's ruby necklace in his beak and flew off. The queen saw this and screamed out in shock. Her scream alerted the nearest palace guard, who came running at once to his queen's rescue. "Go after the crow!" shouted out the queen. "It has flown away with my ruby necklace!" The guard turned around to where the queen was pointing, just in time to see the crow drop the necklace at the base of the banyan tree. But dropping the necklace there was no mere coincidence. The father crow cleverly dropped the necklace at the entrance to the hole where the blue snake lived. The palace guard ran to where the necklace was, and just as he got to it, he saw the vicious snake, who had come out of his hole, being curious about all the commotion that was going on. The guard jumped back in fear, but seconds after, lifted the thick wooden stick he was carrying and started beating the snake repeatedly with it. After what seemed like an eternity to the snake, he managed to slither away from the guard, holding on to an inch of his life. He got so scared that he slithered off to a faraway place, promising to never return to the banyan tree or palace again. And with the departure of their enemy, the two crows were able to breathe a sigh of relief. The palace guard was able to retrieve the queen's ruby necklace, much to her happiness and gratitude. As for the two crows, they continued to live up on the banyan tree without being burdened by any fear, and they were soon blessed with the beautiful family their hearts so desired. The moral of this Panchatantra tale is, in order to win against your enemy, you need to keep your wits about you and act cleverly. The end.